Hey, hi, and hello. Welcome to the video. It's time for a March TBR. And March is a month of so many releases. But there is a release that I already read, and that's In Her Own League, because I found it early in stores. So that's one last book on our March TBR. But I want to have a mix of fantasy, romance, dark romance, romantasy. So we'll see how far we can get. There is already two releases that I'm keeping my eye on. And that is Love Song by Al Kennedy. I think that's releasing the 27th-ish, I think. Somewhere mid-March. And then Game On by Navessa Allen releases the 31st. But I don't think I'm gonna read that in March. I think that's gonna be an April book, because I don't know if I can read a book in a day at that time. So we're gonna start off with the books that I do have on my TBR, or that I have physically. I picked out 6 to 7 books because I want to have some room for different videos. And yeah, so that's why. But we're gonna tackle like the TBR first before I go do some fun reads for videos, because I want to do like the worst book or the lowest rated book on Goodreads and the highest rated book. But for that I need more space in my TBR, so that's why. Because I tend to read between 10 to 15 books in a month. So that's why I picked 7. So let's get started. The first book I have is by Ava Reed, which is A Study in Drowning. It's a Illuminated edition that I have, but I also have the ebook. So I think I'm gonna read it through there, but it's a fun romantasy, I think. Yeah, what it here says is Effie has always believed in fairy tales. She had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King and found solace only in the pages of Enghahad. Enghahad offers Emery's Merredin's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's studied copy is all that's keeping her afloat through her stifling first term at a prestigious architecture college. So when the late author's family announces a contest to redesign his house, Effie feels certain that this is her destiny. But Reeve Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, she finds she isn't the only one who thinks made for the temporary home there. Preston Hillary, a stodgy young literature scholar, is studying Merredin's papers and is determined to prove her favorite author is the fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house foundation isn't the only thing that can be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. So, I think, from reading that, this is a dark academia, magical realism sort of book, and I'm very excited for it. I also have the second book, and I think it's a duology, but I don't know if we're gonna be reading that this month, but always in the back of my mind. But hopefully I like the first book, because the second book is somewhere up there with the special dishes I own. To keep things in the romantasy vibe, I have bought Reference by Rebecca Ross. I know this is like a prequel to Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, and I both like those books. So I'm very excited to read this, but I saw from other creators that this book takes about 40% to really pick up, and I'm intrigued. I don't know too much about this. I think there's a goddess and a mortal human falling in love. That's all I know. That's all I know. I want to go into this as blind as possible, so I'm not going to read back. But that's on my TBR as well. And then I have 2 books in a series, which is The Reaper and The Emperor by Runex. I do not own currently the second book. This is the third book. The second book is on its way because I got it through Vinted and I'm waiting for it to arrive. But I want to pick it up because I read The Predator and I really liked it and it was super fast paced. So I'm very excited, and I know The Reaper follows the same couple as The Predator. And The Emperor follows another couple. I also have book 5 currently shipping through Vinted. But that may take a while because I ordered it from Spain. So, but it was €5. Like, I couldn't say no to a book that's €5, you know. But I have these 2 books on my TBR because I did really want to continue, but I cannot find like the indie versions anywhere, so I'm just scouring on Vinted. And maybe I will get the 2 published books or the 2 indie books from Amazon or another reseller because I need them all in this edition because I do know they're now officially published by a publisher, but I like the feeling of indie published books. They have just a different feeling to them, but this is a dark romance. If you couldn't already tell, this is dark romance. I think it's sort of mafia. And I like to go into these as well, like blind. This book has 400 pages. Damn. Okay, but I think this is a book I will be reading digitally because less pages, and I do think I'm gonna fly through it, you know. So there's that. Then I have Leave Me Behind by Kea Moronova. This is also a dark romance about elite group of people that kill people. I don't know, I read her other 2 books, I liked it, and then I picked this up. This is on my radar for like a year now, I think. Maybe longer, I don't know when this was published, but I've seen it going around and making its rounds, so I'm very excited to see where this one goes. I rated, or her other books I rated pretty low, or not low, pretty average, but I'm actually intrigued to read this. And if I don't like this book either, this offer is not for me. Yeah, let's make that clear. Then the offer is not for me. And the last book I have is The Sacrifice by Chantal Tessier. I've read 3 out of 4 Lord's book right now. This is the last book I have to be reading, and I've finished this part of like the universe. I don't know if I will be continuing the rest of the universe because I think there's like 10 more books, and I don't know if I can read 10 of these units. But I made a promise to myself that I will be reading a thick book every single month. And I think, I don't know what it was for January, but in January I also read a thicker book. Then in February I read The Winners and The Sinner. The Winners by Frederick Whitman, and then The Sinner by the same author as this book. And now I'm going to read The Sacrifice. This is the 3rd book in the series, but like I said, I already read 3 books because a friend recommended to me to read Sabotage first, because you meet the main male character from this book and Sabotage. So I read that first and then going into this. But I don't know, I'm having middle hopes. I don't know. I think that if I have too many expectations, this will leave me or let me down. Because the Ritual I just want to throw across the room, and then The Sinner was more okay, but we shall see where this one goes. So yeah, let's put that back. I don't know if there are more releases, but I do want to keep on reading, if I have the time, the Heated Rivalry series, the Game Changer series, because I'm currently reading Tough Guy, which is the 3rd book, and I have like the other 3 books on my summer TBR. But if I'm intrigued enough, I want to keep on reading those. So that's a bit of a side quest. And then read more books for, what's it called, for like challenging and other videos. But I think I will include these books somewhere in some other videos as well. But let me know your most excited read for March, or a release you're looking up for. Let me know in the comments. Please leave a like, and if you like this, subscribe. You can be part of this amazing family I have here. And for now, I want to say goodbye, and I will see you next week.